RuneScape is a game about getting lucky, and using that luck to your advantage to unlock new content. So what if I took luck completely out of the equation by eliminating all my possible good luck, leaving only the bad? Meet my never lucky Ironman, forks only, because this account is not getting spooned. This account will not be able to keep or use any drop that is received before the drop rate. Later, once I get further along, I'll periodically take all the drops I have to get rid of and give them out to my viewers and subs. My goal with this account is to complete the Inferno, and I'm not going to stop there. This is my story. Please subscribe to my only forks. I mean forks only. What is up, gamers? FCast and Chill here. Right now I'm hopping worlds near the observatory dungeon because there's a super anti-poison that spawns right here, and I'm just picking up a lot of them because I don't have any anti-poison on this account yet, and I feel like that's a good thing to do if you're playing a hardcore, is get some anti-poison to walk around with, you know, just later I'm going to be going to Karamja, that sort of thing, and I want to make sure I don't just die because I don't have poison. Now let's get into the topic for this episode. So I'm pulling up my checklist again here, and the next thing I want to get is the one second from the bottom, the fairy rings. So if you don't know what fairy rings are, they're an extremely useful way of teleportation across the game. There's, you know, tens of locations, maybe, I'm just guessing, but ballpark 40 different fairy rings throughout the game. And if you have a Drawman staff equipped, then you can teleport from one to another one instantly. However, you have to finish a few quest requirements first. You have to do the Lost City, and then the Fairy Tale Part 1 Growing Pains quest. And then you have to technically start Part 2 and just do the first step of it before you being able to use the rings. So that's what I'm going to be trying to tackle today. The reason is these fairy rings are just such a good use of transportation, and I want to be able to unlock, you know, as many modes of transport as soon as possible, just because walking around everywhere is very slow. And even with the law runes, you know, fairy rings have a lot of locations that you can't teleport directly to, and you don't have to use any runes whenever you move from one fairy ring to another, so it's just going to be super useful for the account. Now, for the first required quest, Lost City, we have to have a crafting level of 31 and a woodcutting level of 36. Woodcutting's easy enough. If you just chop trees, you know, outside a lumbridge or somewhere and burn the logs as you're doing it, you'll get woodcutting and fire making up a ton. So let's go ahead and go do that for a bit. Won't take too long. Level 20 woodcutting, 25, and 36. There we go. Okay, so we got the woodcutting requirement out of the way. Now for crafting. So for the crafting requirement, typically on an early Ironman account, the best thing to do is go to the charter ship shops and actually buy both soda ash and buckets of sand and use those at a furnace to turn them into molten glass and then blow the glass. And this does give pretty good crafting XP, but it's kind of a pain hopping worlds and just buying a bunch of ingredients, and I'm going to have to do that later for some of my crafting anyway. So I'd prefer to get these early levels out of the way just by doing some quests. So there's actually two quests that are both pretty easy to do that give massive amounts of crafting XP. And I'm talking about Elemental Workshop Part 1 and Part 2. Now, the downside to this is you could see there's also a pretty heavy smithing requirement early on for these quests, and my smithing level is currently 1. So we're going to have to find a way to get some smithing XP. I really don't want to just sit outside the Varrock mine and mine a bunch of copper and tin, and then just keep shoving those in the furnace for a while to get 20 smithing. I think that'll take quite a while. And so the solution to getting early smithing XP is to do the Knight Sword quest. So Knight Sword has an insane amount of smithing XP as the quest reward, and it'll actually get you from 1 all the way up to level 29 smithing instantly when you complete the quest. The challenge with the Knight Sword on an Ironman is that you need 2 iron bars to complete this quest. And there is an iron bar spawn in the wilderness just north of the Ferox Enclave, but I'm not going to allow myself to get that. It's a little risky. I mean, I'd probably be fine, but I don't want to risk it by running in the wildy, so we're going to have to come up with another solution. After looking at the drop tables for iron bars, I saw that the white knights in the Falador castle actually dropped them. So let's go and kill some white knights. Alright, so we're here in Falador castle. So there's actually 4 different kinds of white knights here that vary depending on the level of the knight. And the one that we want to kill is the level 38 knights. So those actually have a 1 in 16 chance to drop 2 iron bars, and a 1 in 64 chance to drop 1 iron bar. So since we're not allowed to pick up any of these before the drop rate, we need to kill 16 of them, and then after that keep going until we get the 2 iron bar drop. Should be easy enough. They are a little bit of a pain to kill because they'll actually do a decent amount of damage since I'm not very strong yet, and so I need to kite them with magic. But it's easy enough if you skirt around the, southwestern edge of the courtyard like this. But yeah, let's just keep killing these knights and hopefully get some bars a little bit after 16 kills. So I wasn't actually recording for this kill, but you could see in the top right of the courtyard there's a double iron bar drop. So I did get the 2 iron bars. Unfortunately, that was at 14 kill count, not the 16 that I need. So I can't pick them up. But that's okay. I mean, 1 in 16 isn't too rare, so I should get another one pretty soon. As you can see here, I'm still just kiting this guy right here. He's running away from me, so he's being a little annoying. But yeah, hopefully, so after this guy, I'll be at 15 and then 1 more, and then I can pick up the double drop. So let's see how that goes. And this guy's dead, that's 15. And oh, well, there's the single iron bar. But remember, that single iron bar drop is a 1 in 64, so I won't be able to pick that one up for a while. But that's okay. I'm just going to keep at it killing these guys for a bit and hopefully get the double drop soon. Alright, and after a bit over an hour of killing these guys at 42 kill count, I got my double iron bar drop. And that's exactly what we needed for the Knight Sword quest, so let's go ahead and go complete that now. And then after that smithing XP, we can go and do the Elemental Workshop quests. So let's just go knock all those out. And there we have Knight Sword completed. And Elemental Workshop Part 1 done. And Part 2. And look at all that crafting XP. So now I have plenty of crafting levels to start the Lost City, which had a requirement of 31. Lost City is a bit of an interesting quest because you have to go to Intrana and then kill a tree spirit in the dungeon there. Luckily, you can bring runes for Crumble Undead, and that should kill the tree spirit pretty easily, and it's safe spottable, so let's just go knock that out. Shouldn't be too bad at all. And there is Lost City done. Now I have access to the city of Zanaris, and I can begin the Fairy Tale Part 1 quest. Now, I want to talk about this quest a little bit because it can be a bit challenging depending on my luck. So for Fairy Tale Part 1, you have to enchant a pair of Secateurs at some point and then use these to beat the Tanglefoot at the end of the quest. Now the problem is enchanting the Secateurs requires 3 random items from this very long list here. And some of these items are very quick to get for Ironman. You just go wherever they spawn, pick them up, easy enough. Others, I may have to do some very long grinds and, do some leveling to get my skills up even to get some of these items. And it could just be a huge drag on the account. So let's see what items I'm going to have to require. This is going to be a big difference in how long it's going to take me to complete this. So let's figure that out. And come on, please give me some good items. Don't give me the bad crap. Alright, Malignius, I have the skull you wanted me to get. So here it is. Now give me that. Okay, let's see. And he's going to tell me now. Okay, here we go. A kingworm, a bit of snape grass, and a lime. Oh, wow. Okay, that is so lucky. So the kingworm just spawns in the gnome stronghold by the pond. Snapegrass, there's a spawn by the crafting guild. I think I even already have some in my bank. And then a lime you could just buy from the shop at the gnome stronghold. So this is extremely lucky. I can get all 3 of these in just a couple of minutes. So let's go grab that kingworm. And here we are at Gnome Stronghold picking up the kingworm. And now we should be good to go. So I just need to go buy the lime from the grocery store here, and then we can head over to the Nature Spirit to get the Secateurs enchanted. And there we go, 1 pair of enchanted Secateurs. So now we can go on and go to the last part of the quest, which is fighting the Tanglefoot. So let's go do that. Now, I don't know if you guys are aware of a concept called flinching in this game, but this fight would actually be kind of challenging for me since you have to use the Secateurs as a weapon, and my stats are pretty low. But there's something you can do where you actually get them stuck on a corner like this, and then you can damage them without them being able to attack you as well for some bosses. And here you can see that what I'm doing is immediately running out and attacking, and then running back in right after, and then waiting until his health bar is gone. And then once his health bar has disappeared, that means he's kind of lost aggro. He's no longer in combat with me. So then I can run out and hit him again and then run back before him attacking me. And I'm just going to do that here until he's dead, because I don't want to risk, taking a bunch of damage and dying, because I know that this would not go well for me in a straight up fight. And several minutes later, there we go, I've killed the Tanglefoot, and let's go complete the quest. Alright, and that is Fairy Tale 1 Growing Pains completed. And oh, I got farming level of 22, that's pretty nice. And now I can go use fairy rings. So the next thing that I want to do is I want to mention that I should also go ahead and complete the easy Artie diary, because then you get the Ardougne cloak. The reason this is good is it gives you unlimited instant teleports to the Ardougne monastery, and the monastery is actually right next to one of the fairy rings. So then my main method of transportation will be teleporting to the monastery, running to that fairy ring, and then using that to teleport wherever I want to go. So let's go knock that out real quick. It doesn't take too long. It's actually one of the easiest diaries in the whole game. And there we go. That's already easy complete. And now I have that combo where I can teleport to the monastery and then go teleport anywhere with the fairy ring. So this is looking really good. I would say it's unlocked a new era for the account, an era where I'm not limited by transportation and I'm able to get around pretty much anywhere that I want to. So this is just wonderful. I'm really excited. It's going to make the rest of the questing I have to do so much easier. So yeah, this is huge upgrade. Can't overstate it enough. So yeah, that's awesome. And then I'm going to show you some more levels and quests that I've completed here. Alright, and now I've completed Demon Slayer and the Grand Tree to get some kudos so that I can go ahead and do the dig site and Bon Voyage. Fossil Island just has so many good things to do on it, and I want to unlock it as soon as possible. So here we go, and that is Bon Voyage completed. Fossil Island's amazing because, they have crabs that you can train your melee stats on. There are the bird houses that you can use to train up your hunter. There's also seaweed that you want to get for crafting later in the game. And there's also the volcanic ash that I definitely want to get for making ultra compost later. So it's just so many good unlocks. So I'm really glad I got that out of the way. And then here's a bunch of levels. As you can see here, I'm getting my fire making up to level 50. And the reason for that is it allows me to do Wintertod. Now, Wintertod is very interesting on this account. I'm going to talk about it in an episode or two. I'm not going to do it yet, but it's going to be a challenge to calculate what drops I'm able to keep or not keep from Wintertod. But we can talk about that later. I really, the main reason I want to do Wintertod early on is for some XP rather than drops, but we'll get into that in a couple episodes. But yeah, so that was all the levels I got from this, and I think that's about it for this episode. So again, let me know if you have any feedback or stuff that you want to say in the comments, and I will try to release one more episode right before the holidays, and then I'll be back afterwards. So yeah, thanks for the support, everyone, and I will see you soon.